Okay, I think this should be working, so we're good to go, starting our first ever Minecraft video tour. So you are looking at my wizard tower. It's got some interesting standard Minecraft lighting issues going on over here, but generally speaking you can see the tower pretty well. Behind me is one of the first things I built, a great bridge spanning this mountain and that. It's got the start of what's meant to be kind of a skull cave, but it turned out to be a little too not geometric for my feeble mind, and it has been abandoned, at least for the short term. At some point I'll come back to it and try and finish making it a skull. And at some point also, in this corner here, kind of created by the mountain, there will be a giant staircase leading up and back down to the village here, so the poor feeble villagers can crawl their way up the mountain and cross my great bridge to pay homage to their glorious wizard king. But all in all, I haven't done much over here. Plans still in the works. The tower, on the other hand, is largely complete. I'm flying with the thermostatic harness from MinecraftTour. I don't know if your version had that in or not, but I've got the thermostatic harness on with enchantments for haste, repair, and protection. So with haste it goes pretty damn speedily, and I'm able to fly quite nicely. So this is not a totally original tower idea. It is an amalgamation of tower ideas from things that I found, but all in all I think it came out quite nicely. Some blocks of it have gone missing. I can't decide if that's because of Thaumcraft or because things are just, I don't know why that is. The only place in the game that blocks are being deleted are here in the tower where I do my magic, and I know there's that vis stuff that tends to escape, and it may be what's eating through my wood blocks. I'm not entirely sure. Heading inside, we have random stuff that I haven't cleaned up from down here. Long way down. And if we step here, we will hover our way up. Level 1 has my automated distillery for Potentia. The thermostatic harness, like I said, I don't know if you have it or not, but it runs on Potentia. So when I need more, I can come in here, pull out this jar of Potentia, pick up another one, slap the full one, slap the full one in there, and this one down to be filled. And there it is, filling up. Glorious. This is just set up with a golem back here, who is set up to ender chest full of coal. And, oh, because this is used elsewhere, that's why this guy is in here. But ender chest full of coal, always stocked with coal. This guy is set to always stock both fields of this with coal. So that creates Potentia and Ignis. The Ignis gets pumped out over here, and we have our void jar for destroying any excess. The Potentia, 3 jars over here, and no void jar, so the whole system gets full and stops when I have 3 jars of Potentia, as I do now, and full again, so it has stopped. But automated Ignis and Potentia limited distillery here in the first level wing. Going up again. Oops. Non-ideal travel system here, but whatever. Wing number 2, purely enchanting. Bookcases, enchanting table, magical floating lights, not a lot to it. Wing number 2. Wing number 3 is, of course, the bread and butter. If I could stand in the middle, I didn't used to struggle with this. I've lost most of my ceiling now, it turns out. This is where I do the alchemical construct work, put in what I want to make the, I don't remember what word they use, but that's for me to do alchemy now. Of of course. Research table, robes on display, skulls and black candles everywhere, as you might imagine. A zombie trophy, complete with zombie sounds. Enchanting table, wand enchantment system. Here are all of my auras that I have so far boxed and taken with me. I really do like the way wands and focuses work in this Thaumcraft, although apparently I don't have my pouch with me. I do not. How interesting. Apparently I haven't used my wand recently. I haven't been logged in a little over a week. Wait, is that it? Nope. Focus pouch? Oh, and this is not linked. All kinds of stuff's not working quite right. Interesting. I haven't been in a while. So this would be the main room where things go on. And then the other wing over here is, of course, our infusion altar, where all the glory happens here. This thing, I like this thing. It's interesting. I kind of like that it doesn't always work. It's kind of infuriating sometimes when I have just enough to do an infusion, and of course it goes south, and now I don't have enough, so that makes things interesting. This setup is somewhat manual, somewhat automatic. I come in here and burn up whatever I need for generating the... What is this stuff even called? Haven't played in a while, can't remember the terminology. The magic juice, whatever, magic juice. I come in here and burn up stuff to make the magic juice, and he is set to automatically empty these alembics, and he will run up here and fill things into the jar system. So this is where all of my magic juice is being stored. There's one hole right in the middle of the glass floor, right on top of the runic matrix, and it is successfully pulling the magic juice down through that hole. So I can do any infusion that uses anything I have in jars up here, I can do directly. Don't have to move my jars around, and so far that's been proving quite handy. That's essentially it for the tower. There's not much more to being a wizard than your arcane work table and your infusion altar. Outside of the tower, it'd be better if it was daytime, but it's pretty well lit. Down here, all the way back down to ground level. Well, I guess we can stop here in the middle of the mountain first. If you were to take that ladder all the way down, your first stop here would be the middle of the mountain, where I have just kind of shoved out of the way all of my industry type stuff. It's not the focus for me this time, Thaumcraft was, so all of this stuff is just kind of cluttered in here. And sometimes it's noisy. It's not right now. Random lava tank. I got tired of having to fly off to get lava. This construction of things right here in front of me I slapped together to automate steel production because I needed a crap ton of steel for the underwater base that I was making. So this just got slapped together for steel production. A row of these machines here were at one point automating glass production. I have lots of glass still left over from that. I needed lots of glass. The rest are just kind of haphazardly slapped into place wherever it was useful. These 4 factories are my automated ore processing, so I do at least have that much set up. With the, I think this is oxygen that it takes into the purification chamber, which then dumps into the crusher, then into the enrichment chamber, and last into the smelter, which then shoves them right back down again. So this is used elsewhere, not here. This is just my ender chest full of cobblestone, kept constantly full by a pair of igneous extruders. This is used by my digital miner, so I can slap an ender chest full of cobblestone on it, and it replaces all the blocks that it mines up with cobblestone. And I don't have to ever give it more, I just slap the paired ender chest on there and we're good to go. Probably familiar with the Buildcraft lasers. Giant water tank for all of the electrolytic separators that are providing me over here with tanks full of oxygen that I use diving fill my scuba tank from. And in this case, full of hydrogen. For a while I was using a jetpack from Mechanism that runs on hydrogen, and I would fill it there. Not even actually using that tank anymore. I have my now standard chaos warehouse down here. This is of course where everything gets stored, and where this is supposed to be linked and doing requesting, but is for some reason not right now. There we go. It had become unlinked from its pipe. Don't ask me why. And then all the way down is the power generation room. Arrays of electrolytic separators. I think I have a total of 16 of them in an array, pumping out their hydrogen into a set of tanks for a buffer that are then going into an array of 16 hydrogen generators. Right now it's relatively quiet down here because with nothing upstairs running, my power draw is minimal and only one electrolytic separator and one hydrogen generator are running. If I go start my automated ore processing, for example, we will eat through some power and these will all kick on and things will get quite noisy. As you can see, not super concentrated on the industry. The walls are not nice, there's random dirt, but it is sufficient. Energy is being produced, and at the moment, that's about all I care about. All the way back out again. That is all there is to this area. I had to figure out tesseracts for teleporting my lava from the nether over there. Lava tesseract and power tesseract, both. These things, in our mod pack, these things were some work to put together, let me tell you. But more along the lines of what I'm trying to accomplish here in my awesome wizard tower is down here. There's another ladder from my poor youth when I couldn't fly, and this is from my poor youth when I had to do my own mining. But now here, we're doing gardening. I don't know if you got to experiment with magical crops or not, but magical crops is glorious. This field is just full of food. I have harvest golems running these fields for me typically, but I don't need nearly as much as they produce if I leave them running 24/7, and especially since I haven't been playing much the last couple of weeks, I took down the harvest golems. They should be, yeah, hanging out in the boxes, ready to put back out when I actually need to harvest, but magical crops. This is an obsidian crop. If I grab it, I got an obsidian seed and obsidian essence. 8 obsidian essences put together in a square gets me several blocks of obsidian. I don't even remember how many. And you can do this with most things. Most things. Apparently those don't go in there. So you can grow diamonds, you can grow emeralds, you can grow... I'm growing coal. That's where... Shit. Apparently my ender pouches are also not linked anymore. How interesting. I'm growing coal in this field, so when I have this set up, oh, I didn't show you, but in the warehouse room there is logistics pipes and crafting tables for taking the coal crops that this guy would be dumping into here. This is my input ender chest color, which is apparently not working right now, but this is input into the warehouse. I would have this guy specified just to pick up coal essence, so only the coal essence is going directly into the warehouse, and then automatic crafting tables turn it into coal and keep a steady supply of coal in the coal ender chest that we saw before. Over here we have another bit of automated farming and alchemy going on that I have also turned off, but that's why it's all grown up. But in here we have an herba farm. When my golems are running and harvesting all of this sugarcane, which grows very fast because we have a Thaumcraft lamp of growth here. When this is fed with a supply of herba, it causes plants around it to grow much, much faster. Like, you can stand here and just watch them popping up all over the place. It's pretty nuts. Herba is just one of the magical juices you can generate, and it is generated by sugarcane along with water and air. So this one is set up to void the extra air avoid the extra water, and 3 jars of herba back here that are all empty because it gets pulled in by this lamp of growth. If I stop my herba production, this lamp of growth will just keep sucking herba until I don't have any left. So that's why everything is shut down right now. This is again my coal-colored ender chest, and there's a golem down there keeping the bottom of this filled with coal. This is just a regular collecting guy set to collect sugar canes to slap them in there. So if I set this whole system going again, it would be pumping out herba into here. In addition to going to that lamp of growth, they would also be pulling herba through these essentia mirrors into another farm I have established remotely. That farm is for growing mana beans, and it's the giant floating island we can see here in the distance. Mana beans only grow in magical forest biomes, and planting silverwood trees, if they have a node in them, they don't all have nodes in them anymore, but if they have a node in them, which they have a chance to, they will turn a small area around them into magical forest. So I had to go out into the world and capture lots of saplings for silverwoods and plant them and tear them down and plant them and tear them down all over this floating island until I had terraformed it all to the magical forest biome. Once I had done that, I built this structure, which is my mana bean farm. Again, shut down. But these essentia mirrors will allow these lamps of growth. I only actually ever built the 2. I meant to put 2 on that corner as well. But I ended up with a lot more mana beans than I actually needed, and so didn't bother infusing the remaining 2 lamps of growth yet. But these are able to pull herba from that same set of herba jars at the distillery through the essentia mirrors. Way more mana beans than I actually needed. But building this and getting this all working was pretty cool. I first had a little herba station generating right in here, but it turned out to need more space than that, so I moved it out remotely and used the mirrors instead. That is essentially it for the interesting things that I've done around this base so far. I really like my location. I like the totally natural kind of box canyon that I have here. This field with the fences around it used to be full of free-roaming animals. I'm not sure what happened to all my animals. At some point when I start playing again, I'll drag them all back again. But this box canyon was naturally formed. I really like how it looks. I like my farms and my free-roaming animals in it. I like the similarly heighted mountain right across the way that I was able to build a bridge to, and with the village right here, at some point I will spruce up the village and revamp them and build them their staircase here. That's about all I have planned right now for this area. Don't know what else to do with it, other than finish building my skull, maybe. So, I started work on my underwater base, which we can teleport to. There we are. One wing of it has been drained, and that's where we are now. As you can see, there are squids everywhere. So we'll be able to fly out in a second and see the basic floor plan. But one wing has been drained. One wing comprises these 4 kind of rows, I guess. So we can breathe underwater. We need our gas mask and our scuba tank. So, aside from the 4 arms there of the wing, there are 4 of these domes. This is going to be a bitch to drain, so I haven't done it yet. 4 of these domes, and between each pair of domes, another wing. So if I go this way, there is again 4 arms. I have missed something, or the textures have just gone screwy. I missed something. Is that what I'm holding? Ceramic glass, yes indeed. Apparently I missed filling in those corners in this one. Oh, but while I'm outside, let me swim up, and we can have an aerial view. So each each of 4 sides has these wings that stick out and the domes. This was all constructed by hand, underwater, while doing this, swimming around with the gas mask in the tank. It took some time. The glass, in order to look good in our texture pack and work the way I want, is dynamic glass from the Iron Tanks mod. So that required lots and lots of steel and glass to make this dynamic glass. That's what I needed all that automated steel production for. Each of these wings is meant to have doors or walls or something going across them, separating them from the main corridor. One of them I'll fill, at least one of them, probably a whole wing of them, I'll fill with villagers and random other villager stuff, and that's where my underwater people will live. One wing I will put dirt down, and we will be doing our own underwater farming to make us a self-sustaining area. I'm looking into what kind of power generation I can do with water. I shouldn't need a lot of power for anything that I want to do down here, so while I expect to have somewhat limited power production from water type generators, that should be perfectly sufficient. The mariculture mod that we have in here has a bunch of coral. I need to get a texture pack for it if I can, but building up the coral reefs around my underwater base is one of my plans, so that the terrain down here will be a little more interesting to look at. And then the center column there is what goes all the way to the surface, and there is another dome in the surface, and the start of a dock. We have a mod that lets you actually build boats, and they will go zipping around. So I will be constructing a ferry that take you back and forth between the underwater base and its surface dock and shore, which ended up not being as far away as I thought it would be when I began construction here. If I were to do this again, I would build it further out so that you really need the boat to get to it. Right now, you could very feasibly just swim across, but that kind of defeats the purpose. So our surface dome, and right now just an opening, and I've drained a few layers here, but draining this all the way down, quite a chore. But when I'm all done, I think it'll be quite cool. Oh yeah, it's much harder to see when I don't have my gas mask on, and I'm going to run out of oxygen here pretty quickly, so let me swim back inside, where there's apparently a slime waiting for me. Apparently a lot of slimes waiting for me. Well, I'm not going to bother with all of them. But this is enchanted with Aqua Affinity, and that's what gets me the ability to see better. That was totally essential. Before I had that, working on this was miserable. But in the end, I think it'll be pretty cool. The floor is made out of blocks of iron, so 9 iron ingots for every square of floor, and there's quite a lot of floor space, as you saw. All of that mined by my digital miner. No creative mode cheatery here. Just digital miner and logistics tubes with an auto crafting table for turning them into blocks of iron for me automatically. Should still have. This is apparently not correctly chunk loaded either, because I can no longer activate that. Interesting. I can teleport back, can't I? I hope. Well, we can go look at vacuums. This doesn't have much but a shell to it yet. Vacuum is, of course, 8008 for boob. It's going to take a second to load everything after I just teleported, and I built this teleport door frame for him. So, helpfully, I built it way up in the sky with no supports at all. You can see all of his framing lasers that he uses to help him lay stuff out. Those are the first things to load for whatever reason. He's got a pretty cool idea for how this castle is going to go. It's very much integrated into the mountain, built into it. His towers here, I think, look very good. He has put painstaking work into cracking them and mossing them and growing vines on them. barring the windows and mini blocks for framing and everything. This mountain probably needs some cleanup work, but generally speaking, Fackham's castle looks pretty good just from the outside. That is quicksand, and I almost forgot about it. This is Fackham's monster deterrence system. The monsters walk onto this block, they start sinking because it's quicksand, and they die. They die a horrible, horrible death. I haven't been here in a little while. He's got nice trees going on now. Very nice, very nice. He's big into deco-craft. He's got his crates here, opening back there. I don't know if that's intentional. These weren't open last I was here, but we'll go in the front door. Anything on this side? No, these are all open too, but nothing in them yet. Interesting. Those tunnels weren't there last time I was here. Don't know what he's doing with those. But if we walk up the main gate, blocked off for monsters. I think he did a really good job inside. I think he may want to consider replacing these with a lighter wood. They just kind of look black in our texture pack at the moment, but I really like that he's got the wooden logs outlining everything. I think it gives it a very like Skyrim type castle feel to it. The great wood logs everywhere holding the place up. He's built himself an interesting little throne here with purple carpet all around. Very nice. Very nice shiny waterfalls. That is blue tinted glowstone at the bottom of them, giving them this cool kind of blue look at the bottom. Very nice. There's a lot to this. I don't know how to navigate it necessarily. Apparently not that way. There's a lot of complexity to this castle that I don't know. Like this. Hello, this room that I've never seen before. Apparently this is the kingly bedroom. How did he even do this? I don't know how he controlled the paintings like that, but I haven't seen this room before. It's pretty sweet. We go this way. Looks like just construction still. Nothing built per se, but something planned for this way. This way, construction. Yep. No, he has at least one wing that's very well built out. Oh yeah, he's got kind of a doors out here under the lookout ledge, I guess. Pretty neat. He does a really good job with detail. Beckham does not skimp on detail. Oops. I imagine that's on this side too. Come on out to the landing. Have a look out at your courtyard. There's another... Oh. There are more landings planned higher up, I think, but I guess we haven't gotten there yet. Let's go back to where we came from. I think it must be this direction. I'm amazed at the control that he's achieved with the paintings, because they match even. The only thing I can imagine is that he put this up and knocked it down over and over and over and over again until he found the one he liked, and then did it again on the other side until they matched. That, Fackham, that is some dedication. You got good ones too. That one. Oh. Ah, that's Game of Thrones. That is Jon Snow and his wolf ghost. Interesting. I don't know if I remember back here either. What we got here? What the shit? Okay, he has a Gast trophy. That's neat. Some armor on display, fireplace that probably is not done yet. And very cool. Wine bottles, gold ingots, hourglass. Alright. It's an interesting room. What else have we got? We've got an up and a down. Okay. Alright, well, let's go then. Under construction, it would seem. Yep. Okay. Facom would be able to give a much more actually tour-like tour of this place, I suppose. Up, up, up we go, and that's the end. So, also under construction. He really doesn't just stick to one part of the project, does he? I know there's one wing that is well fleshed out. I think it's this way. And then that way. Oh, Jesus. So, interesting, but I think this way is what I'm looking for. He's got his dining hall with his apparently gold and netherrack cornered table. Those are interesting choices, I think. A table with just a piece of glass on it. I don't know if that's intentional or just left there. Pretty nice fireplace. Actual chimney, maybe, even? Aha! The kitchen. Stacked up foodstuffs and furnaces many. Cooking for his lord. Redwood tables. Flasks of something on display, even. Interesting. Water sources. Oh, of course, we have to have all the beer. Good, good. I think probably, and yes, nothing down here yet. Just, oh. Wait a minute. What is this? This is something. Okay. No, I'm gonna need a way to open that. And... ha! Okay. Yeah, so... oh, there you are. I've been hearing you for a minute. Ah, a gold Odin? What the Christ is that? How did he get all these... oh, that's DecoCraft. He built that. Okay. I'm not sure what this area is. Oh, this would be the smithery. Based on all the ingots everywhere, and the, anvil. Neat. He's got some redstone doors going on, and a tanning rack, and leather armor on display. Lots of different types of armor on display, and a hammer on an anvil. That's pretty cool. I don't know what that is. Block of silver. Random block of silver on top of the blast furnace. Interesting. Cool. Tool racks. As you can probably tell from my annotations, haven't seen most or any of this. He's done a lot of work since the last time I was down here. Oh. What? Oh, that's just for turning it on. I see. This, however, what's back here? Oh. Big plans from the looks of things, but nothing much yet. Fucking money. I think we are under everything. Ah, yes. These are the tunnels going out towards the front that we saw from the front. These have all been dug out. This whole area is open back here. Apparently we have big plans for what's going to happen for those tunnels. I think that's all of the area that he has done active work on so far. Let's see if we can even navigate our way back out of here. There we go. Dining hall. And this way to main castle. Okay. There, nope, just those. So, sweet. I believe he mentioned plans to build his own wizard tower. I think over here on this peak, he's going to build his own wizard tower. I know the castle is going to continue integrating into the mountain and more parts of it will be visible. It's not all going to be under the mountain. More parts of it will become visible or have sections that are outside the land. I don't know what's going on with this interesting trapdoor up here. Huh, okay. Nope, don't need to jump down there. So that's what Farmer's been doing. He was at it very diligently for a while. Now it's been a bit since he was logged in. Don't know if I can actually remember Mark's teleport code. It might be 1171. Nope. 117 something. Nope. Apparently we cannot remember Mark's code, so no love there. Or he took down his chunk loaders, since he hasn't been in the longest. That would make sense. But in 1992, Tyler's area, he has played the least and just kind of has this gigantic mansion thing with these big ass walls that he has built all around it, and apparently not quite finished. Oh, nope, they're there. But there's basically nothing inside here at all. He's got a big walled-in complex and a glass ceiling over it. That was his first little oh fuck house. Mine. Glassed-in ceiling and one horse. Good, good, one horse. But inside, there is not much. There are balconies. There are balconies lining the glass-domed area over here. On the ground floor, there are just giant stairs going up. Giant goddamn tables. Jesus, Tyler. Interesting. Don't know why he chose crystal chests, but there they are. Oh, I didn't even know he had a basement. Ah! Machines and power generation. I see, I see, I see. And fuck tons of torches. Apparently he's torched better than Robert, because I don't hear a single monster. I hope you can hear the cat in the background and that it annoys you as much as me. All love, brother. I don't even know where I am anymore. Jacaranda wood. Oh, I am outside. It was... yeah, just nothing really inside as far as I know. Just big, empty, square rooms. But I have a feeling, since he went ahead and did this, if he had a computer that could actually run it and was left to his own devices for a while to experiment and learn, I have a feeling that Tyler has the single-minded dedication to build great things based on the simple work he's done with a computer that doesn't function and no one helping him learn what the hell Minecraft is. But with that, I think our tour is concluded. And I will teleport myself home.